All right, we're on the air.
Oh, welcome.
Shoot, I need to get YouTube up.
Me too. Oh, I don't need to do it.
I think it's because there it is. I gotta mute it. I just want the comments section to be live, you know?
I think there's a way, which of course I don't know how.
Yeah, me either.
To find out how to do that.
Continuum, game on.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see who's all in here, if there is anybody in here. So, yeah. Welcome.
So, Yule, let's talk a little bit in the sense that I want to hear your microphone audio.
Yeah. How is it right now?
Doesn't sound like you're using the microphone.
It doesn't sound like I'm using a microphone.
It sounds like you're using the webcam mic.
Oh, well, that might be a true statement.
Yeah.
Do you want to inform me how to make it the other way?
Hold the microphone up to your mouth and let's make sure.
Well, how's that?
Oh, that's better. That's
okay.
Better.
So it is the reason. Okay.
It is. Yeah. Get a phone book. Get a New York City phone book and prop that thing up closer to your mouth.
In the comic book store, we use a previews catalog.
Well, stack about 4 of them then.
Hold on a sec.
Hello, Diablo Hashcraft. Welcome back. Yeah, look at that. See, that's a New York phone book right there. That's what that is. That's the thickness and girth of a New York City phone book.
I'm going to show it off first. Hold on a sec.
Drawer box is a good option.
I love a drawer box.
Yeah.
So can you see that?
I can see there's a guy taking a poopy on the cover.
I think he's on the side of a building.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
It looks like a Puerto Rican gentleman taking a poopy.
Well, I don't know about that.
Oh, that's Stranger Things, sir. Oh, dear. Matthew Modine? Is that Mr. Matthew Modine? I'm excited. 4th of July, baby.
You're a big Stranger Things
mid-loaf. It's not gotten to the point where it's painful yet, so he hasn't quite scrunched his face up. But when that thing hits the ground, it's gonna splat.
I do not know what you're talking about.
Miles Morales taking a poopy on the side of a building.
Whatever. He's yeah. Well, I'm kidding this. How does it sound right now?
No better.
All right, we'll go another book high. What'd you say, 4?
I don't know, man. I can't tell how far down it is. I can't see the microphone, so I don't know how close it is to your mouth.
Well, how is it now? Is it any better?
No.
All right, and how about now?
No.
How about now?
Yes.
This is a piece of All right, well, there you go. I'll just come in really close.
I think it's because of the direction that it records in. I don't think that you're getting into its direction.
I see. Well, maybe I need to be a little lower in the seat.
Y'all can hear him fine, but trust me, his audio is not picking up right.
Well, you know what? I don't care as long as they can hear me. Isn't that all that really matters?
Yeah, then lean in close and talk.
Okay.
No, talk like a normal asshole.
I thought that's exactly what I was doing.
You just whispered into the microphone, which does not help.
ASMRing it.
Yeah, well, go ahead. All right, welcome to the show. Welcome. Hey, Corey Keller. Look who's in chat.
So, Fantinuum, that's one of our customers here at the store. Who's Diablo Hashcraft? Is that a customer in the store? Anyway, how's it going?
Do you see that Corey's in chat?
I did. I said hi.
You said hi to Corey, and that's it. You're just like, hey,
that's pretty awesome. Everybody in the chat, awesome. Way to go!
I'm excited, Corey. Thank you for joining us.
I'm super excited. We're going to try and make this exciting for everybody.
How are we going to do that, Yule?
Let's talk about Captain Marvel.
We're starting off with the movie.
I'm just joking. As of yet, I have not been able to go out and see it.
Oh, it's out. I didn't even know.
Yeah, it was on Thursday evening, but I was helping a friend out, a friend of ours, and I wasn't able to do movie stuff.
Okay.
So I'm hoping to do that this Thursday.
Okay, good.
Normally I don't, but everybody's talking about it, and I wanted to be clued in. So, oh, there you go. The movie was blah. Oh yeah, well, of course you said that.
Nice. Diablo, I'm a little jealous. You're going to look for books? I assume at the half price.
All right.
All right, Yule.
Yes.
Why don't you start by let's start by what you just sold.
All right.
Where's Eugene? Is he handy?
Eugene is not handy. He's never handy. He never
yes, he is.
He never really does well. Actually, by saying all this, he's becoming more handy.
Is the tablet handy that he was using to show the cover?
That is.
Yeah. Okay, get that ready, and then tell us about what you just sold.
So we sold on eBay. Fantastic Comics has an eBay store. We sold. I was looking through the boxes in the back one day. Eugene was kind of goading me to do that because we have so much junk. I mean, you see all this back here. That's like nothing.
It looks like a hoarder's house.
Well, actually, that's a sorting table, and the stuff underneath was stuff from the shipment for tomorrow that we put out tonight. And then some of the other stuff are things that we're putting out on either eBay or internet sales, that type of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, anyway. So on our eBay store, we sold the Umbrella Academy. I'm going to hold this up so you can see it.
Look at that stamp at the bottom. It's sideways. Turn it 90 degrees to your right so that people can see the comic relief. Oh, it rotates. You got to put it on rock.
Can read it just fine. That says comic relief.
Yes, it does.
And I was billing this on eBay as the first appearance of the Umbrella Academy. It was the free comic book day one that came out.
Is it actually the first issue?
It's the first thing. I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
And also I was billing it as it was stamped by the first ever Eisner award-winning comic book store, which is funny because, it basically ruined it.
The Eisner Award ruined it, or what?
The stamp did.
The stamp ruined the book?
Yeah, but, I'm trying to sell it like, it was a big whoop.
Yeah, I think it's a big whoop, personally.
Well, the Umbrella Academy, I think the comic relief stamp wasn't a big deal.
Okay, maybe.
In spite of it, we sold it.
I think to some people it's a big deal and some people it's not.
Yeah, sure.
It's what we would call, not ephemera, what's it called when you're provenance, right?
Yeah, right, exactly.
The stamp basically proves that it went through comic relief. So anybody that cares about the history of comic relief or Rory
and the Eisner Awards.
Or Eisner Awards, I mean, that's actual evidence that it went through a particular store, which is rare. Most comic book stores don't stamp their stuff unless it is comic book store day, right?
Right.
I don't think that's a problem, man. To me, that's it. It's added value.
We slap big old stickers on our free comic book day ones.
I think that is cruel unless they come off easy.
Oh, they'll come off easy. So
do they
the
take
rest
the cover with them too?
Oh yeah,
they take the cover. They take the cover right off. You're such a jerk.
I want you to know where you got this comic book from or where it came from.
Get a rubber stamp like a normal human being.
It's ruined is ruined.
I guess you're right.
And besides, you want to make sure that, there's your provenance again. Fantastic Comics.
Well,
plus Pochi's in the O.
Is he?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I might have a picture of that in the future too.
Yes, exactly.
Eli knows
everything.
Well, no, that's the other thing about the stickers. They don't have to dry. It's much easier. They're already here in bundles of, hundreds of them, I should say.
Right.
Like thousands of them, really.
The only real difference between a stamp and a sticker, though, is that somebody can take off with those stamps and put them on anything they want. Whereas I'm sorry, the stickers. The stickers can be removed from your store. They can be placed on books years after this store is gone. Right? Whereas the stamp, there's only one stamp.
I used to take comic books onto the BART train when I used to write it a little bit more, and I would put a sticker on it. And then I would read the comic book on the trip, and then I would leave it behind so that it was advertisement.
Oh, funny. Funny.
Okay, I'm gonna hold this up, see if it comes in. Hold on one sec. There's the stamp.
That's a nice sticker.
Or sticker, I should say. And if you see the O,
yep, I do.
Dog face in there.
Yeah, you really got to look for it, but I do see it.
Yeah, that was a Eugene thing.
That's a good stamp or sticker. I like it.
Yeah, it's a nice sticker.
Got a little bit of color to it.
It's got Farrell Dalrymple artwork in the back of it.
Can't complain to that.
Yeah, he did the Wrenchies and Proxima Centauri and some other stuff.
He's quite good. He's fun to look at. Well, his art is. I don't know about him. Is he a strange looking fella?
No, he's a normal dude. We talked about Mr. Show quite a bit.
Okay. Yeah. Stamp him in blood. Sure. That was a great idea. Just open up a vein.
What was that?
Fantinuum saying stamp them in blood, like
Stan Lee. Did that in a comic book. I think their blood was put in the ink.
Yeah,
and or in the red coloring or whatever.
Whatever they claim they used his blood. Let's clone the son of a bitch as quick as can and get him making comic books again.
There was a comic book writer named Mark Grunwald who did the Squadron Supreme maxi series, and when he died, his ashes were put into the India ink so that when they printed the first series of trades, his DNA ashes, whatever you want to call it, were in all of those issues or all the collections. Wow. Yeah, so the first run of those collections had Mark Grunwald DNA.
That's amazing.
Really kind of morbid.
A little bit.
I mean,
it's nice if your life is drawing comics. I mean, that's
he was the writer actually. It was kind of like I would say maybe his Watchmen, not near as good, but
his crowning achievement.
Yeah, definitely. It's something that he put, all his effort into.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, Yule. So you sold a nice copy of. Why did y'all have that, by the way? The Umbrella Academy.
You do buys. People come in with things, and maybe one book out of the entire box is something that you care about. Maybe you give them like 5, 10, maybe there's more, 15, 20 bucks, for a box. Yeah. That guaranteed was not something I thought I'd put any money into. If anything, it was negative cents. If I offered you $5, taking that book may have cost you a nickel.
Yeah, sure.
So, and it probably was the book that made the most out of the entire box over the long run.
Oh boy. That doesn't sound like a good thing to me.
Well, I mean, so much over cover price. I mean, it was 0 cents.
Cover price was 0 cents. Actually, it was negative cents because you charged them some money for processing it.
Exactly.
It's like, look, I'm going to have to deal with this stuff. I'm going to take $1 off what I'm offering you because I have to deal with this crap.
Now. Well, I mean, free comics, stamp free comics. All of this is. There have been some free comics where they have gone up in price. That's ridiculous, but to each their own.
No, hold on. There's a big difference between the stuff that you have to get for free on Free Comic Book Day and the stuff that you get for free because you sent in all the coupons. What'd you just do to your image?
Oh man, my image has gone off that. If I play, I would just
don't do that. You do that. A blank screen is no good.
Well, nobody wants to see me drinking.
Nevertheless, yeah, they do. What are you drinking? Your own urine?
Just water.
Then nobody cares, dude.
It's got this sippy cup thing.
Yeah, well. Anyway, so you remember the Image Zero?
Yes.
That was a free comic book.
Yeah, okay, sure. You had to send in for it.
You send in your coupons and you get it back for free, and it's worthless now, I'm sure. Nevertheless, your Free Comic Book Day Well, so obviously it went up in value. People want the Umbrella Academy stuff, so that's great.
Yeah, the Umbrella Academy on Netflix. Have you seen it?
Yes, I have. It's quite good. I enjoyed it a lot. I do not like Ellen Page, as I will say again and again and again. I do not like her. I think she's a bad actress. But besides that, I thought it was a very fun and entertaining show. I enjoyed it a lot. I won't read the comic book because I don't care that much. But as shows go, it was quite good. Anyway, so thank you, Fantinuum. It's what do they call that? It's almost like a feedback loop. I was looking into it yesterday because I'm arguing with my sister via email. And there's a thing that people do where they believe their own bullshit because it's what they believe. I can't remember what, it's not an echo chamber. It's like an actual psychological term used for it. I'll have to remember later. Or if
confirmation bias.
What's it called?
Confirmation bias.
Thank you, Yule. Thank you, Yule. Confirmation bias.
Damn. I'm smart.
That's as. Thank you for.
Kyle came up with it, actually.
Thank you for bringing that up, Kyle, and then delivering it to us, Yule. Anyway, confirmation bias that I don't like Ellen Page. Fantinuum doesn't like Ellen Page. We agree with each other, therefore we're smart. Done. All right.
Very good.
So why is Kyle here but not on the show?
Well, Kyle is actually doing some of the packaging for things that we're sending out to people that purchase comic books.
Okay. Can he say hi?
I'm sure he'll come by in a second.
All right. Well, make sure he knows that he's invited to come in and say hi to us and everybody that's in the audience, because he does work for you. He did provide us with the term confirmation bias, and he's a valuable member of the Fantastic Comics team.
Woo.
Anyway, so let's talk about what you read last week.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean, unless you got anything else that you want to go on about, because I love going on.
Our eBay store, we have a lot of good things out. We don't put a lot up, but we are slowly doing that. Right now, there is an Amazing Spider-Man number 129 that is selling, is doing quite well. So it's the first Punisher. And there's a few other things that are up that we're working on. There was a Pooh variant for some comic book that Marvel put out. Sometimes what they'll do is they will have a 1 in 10 variant cover that the stores don't know is going to be coming out. And if you don't order enough or any, or, you might not get it. So a whole 2 days went by before I came back into the store after I found out about it. And the Pooh variant was on our shelf still. We only sold one copy, and it wasn't that one. So, again, I was like, "Ooh, I got to get that." And we put it up on eBay. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
When you say a Pooh variant, do you mean a Winnie the Pooh?
No. So it's so what Marvel is doing is they're doing 80th anniversary comic books based on their old characters before they were Marvel and whatever.
Okay.
And the book that they had come out this last week was like some pig and I don't know what other animal, and they're pals and they're in a boat and they're going down a river and there's like a waterfall. And instead of saying Latveria, which is where Dr. Doom hails, which is the normal cover, it says Pooh, or it's a Pooh emoji with an apostrophe S. And then it says Creek after it.
Oh.
So it's the Pooh variant.
Got ya. So they're up Poopy Creek.
Yeah, Poops Creek. Or have you seen that program Schitt's Creek?
I have. I was just thinking about that and trying to figure out how to say it without saying shit.
Shits, you mean?
I do. SCHITS.
So hold on a sec. Oh, that is bright.
It's adjusted. It looks good.
That's the Spider-Man that we're working with.
It's showing a bunch of glare now. I don't. Whatever. It's fine. I think everybody got to see it.
See, there's Kyle.
Oh, hi, Kyle.
No, that was Eugene. Sorry.
Hi, Eugene.
He's got flammable objects that he's taken to the front.
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear.
Helium. All right, so you want to see some comic books?
Yeah, of course.
All right, it's going to take a moment. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened that when I turn off the camera, it's going to go black. Is there any way you can?
I'll tell you what. I'm going to tell you while you're setting up. Go ahead and start setting up, and I'll tell you what I got in the mail today.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Go ahead. Okay, so about a week ago, maybe a little bit more, I started looking for, I was just doing research on Glenn Cook because the podcast is coming up, and I found a podcast with him and Steven Erickson and Jonathan Strahan doing the hosting. Wow, that thing is completely upside down and sideways.
Yeah, you were supposed to put...
No, I did. I changed it to me now. I think I've changed it to me. I'm really not sure. It doesn't matter.
I apologize, everyone.
Anyway, so I was doing research for the podcast, and I found two podcasts, found that one and another one. And I don't remember which one had it in there, but they brought up the fact that somebody, Nightshade Books, collected Glenn Cook's Dread Empire short stories into a hardcover. And it's the only time it's ever been collected. So I went online and I found a copy in San Francisco at Borderlands Books, which is, it's on Valencia, I think, down by Guerrero. And where's the place that everybody goes to buy drugs? The Mission.
Okay.
It's in the Mission, essentially. It's an extraordinary bookstore. Anyway, they sent me a copy. It was only $20. And it's perfect. It's beautiful and perfect. I cannot wait to not read it. In fact, it's on my shelf right now. I just put it up. It's on that shelf. The very important, my permanent collection shelf. Anyway, that's what I found this week. And I think that's the only thing I found because I didn't go book shopping any other way. All right, Yul, it looks like you're set up. I'm going to switch the camera back over because nobody really cares about my books.
Don't yet.
Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. I don't want to woo-hoo too much.
Oh, stop it. This has to do with internet drama.
It's not really drama, but I would like to clarify that I have never in my life picked up a Red Sonja comic book, and I do not give a rat's patootie about naked women on the cover of a book.
Well, I do.
All right, let's go.
No. This is funny. This was internet drama that had nothing to do with us.
Oh, good.
You mistook.
I did.
I'm leading in to what I read with a little interesting tidbit. So we had a friend of ours kind of joke about the fact that we were all hot and bothered, loving.
Show the other cover before you. Yeah. Oh.
So Red Sonja, she's quite fetching. Anyway,
she's a lady.
I don't think we really hung on too long about it, but anyhow, it doesn't matter. Then we went on and talked about this X-Men cover and how his you might notice somewhere in the middle something really kind of staring you in the face. So it's interesting. But having said that, let me first talk about Red Sonja. Red Sonja was more of a character building issue for the second issue. There wasn't really any fighting going on. We found out a lot more about the person who is going around conquering lands. And we get a little bit more emotion or maybe, again, character. And we can kind of see, where he's coming from. We also get a lot of the political intrigue that's going on with Red Sonja. She's been made, I guess you can say, queen of the land. And she has to deal with the fact that this guy wants to take over. And if not, it's going to be war that's declared. It overall was just a filler issue that I thought was pretty well done. The art is nice inside, and I enjoyed it. And there was nothing keeping me from reading the third issue, but I would like to see some fighting soon because, overall it is just a Red Sonja book and that sword needs to be used.
Well, it should be, it's Red Sonja because she's got red hair, but her blood or the blood of her enemies should be dripping from that sword.
Yeah, I want to see that cover come to life.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, not real life. Anyway, X-Men was a lot of the same. Although there was a lot of action, overall, it was just a character study. We're still getting the team back together. It's Cyclops, it's Wolverine, and they're going around trying to figure out what's going on. Meanwhile, there's a bunch of anti-mutant groups that are still going that want to see them taken care of before they get big. As X-Men again, there's this drug that's going out that's being basically administered by the government to try and stop mutations from occurring altogether.
Whoa.
So it's normal X-Men stuff.
Yeah.
There's a big fight that goes on. Like I said, it's with the Dark Beast. Anybody that knows the X-Men knows the Dark Beast. There's also a Madrox duplicate that has like cybernetics, and that was also because of that Dark Beast. When you finally, it's all these advertisements. When the fight really does finally occur, there's all sorts of modifications to, again, the Dark Beast. There's some cool. Thought the art was pretty nice. Overall, it was kind of jumpy. I liked it. It was good enough to read the next issue, but nothing really happened all that much. It had nice fighting, and I enjoyed it, but I'm not going to get a lot of rereading necessarily to, I'm not gonna have to reread it to keep going with the book.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
not one of those things. Okay, so you and I and our friend had a little conversation about that whole penis shot in the cover and how we like the woman on the cover, and heaven forbid that should happen. But on the internet, on Twitter, there was a woman who had a problem with the cover of Female Furies.
Okay.
And the problem that she had was with the sight lines. And she circled the picture right around here. And then she drew sight lines that basically went like, off, not with the eyes, where the eyes are going. Because if you follow the eyes, if you follow the hands and where they're pointing, they're obviously, everything is pointing down to her. They're not pointing at this person's crotch. You follow the I'm not an artist, but this is just art. Anybody can trace, this might be the only one that doesn't, but you can trace the line from here and you can see where it's going. But this person drew the line starting with the circle and then matching the lines up. Anyway, there was a whole bunch of drama with Dan Panosian, the artist of this piece, and a whole bunch of other comic creators got on. And then I think it was Panosian said that comics artists shouldn't be critiquing other comics artists, like a critic, and was really, it was pretty funny stuff to watch. And I thought with our little conversation about Red Sonja and Cyclops, this actually happening in, Twitter comics world, it was pretty funny.
Let me say one thing real quick about the difference between art and comic books. And that is that comic books are a commodity, right? And so their covers are produced by somebody who's just working. They're not there with the express intent to make art. So to critique them as artists is not fair.
Well, what she had said was that doing something like fixating on a person's crotch, which you may agree with or may disagree with, was what she was saying. She was like saying, how does this sell a book to do that?
Yeah.
He's like, dude, I took a job. The editor wanted me to do it this way. I did it this way, and you're wrong.
It's work for hire.
And you're wrong, but without saying you're wrong. And then she took offense to it, and it was a big old thing. Of course, she has some followers, and then they're like, who the hell are these people? And who's Frank Thierry? And Frank Thierry is sticking up for Panosian. And then Billy Tucci standing up for other people and Frank Thierry. And it's a whole cluster. And it was something that was funny, that was somewhat, something that, with what we did last week.
Sure.
Anyway, a little bit more joking on our side, I think.
Well, I don't understand the cover that I'm looking at right now at all. Like, I don't get it. So to me, it's a big confusing mess.
Yeah, it's not that good.
So it's not really worth commenting on, sightlines or otherwise. I mean, whatever.
Well, I mean, it's just they're obviously all looking at this person. In the last issue, that person killed somebody, and they're going to get in trouble for it unless they, do something about it.
Okay, so
I mean, if you read the other issue, it makes sense. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I didn't read this issue.
Yeah, but everybody likes S&M. Everybody.
Yeah.
They're curious at the very least,
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of clubs around here, I think.
Well,
I mean, not that I know.
Ooh, Avengers. You read this one then, huh?
I did read this one.
Nice. Tell me more.
Most of it was in the head of Robbie Reyes.
Who is that?
He is the Ghost Rider.
Okay.
And in previous issues, that demon dog that's been hanging around that big old
I like that demon dog. I think that thing looks really cool.
Yeah, me too. It was whispering like sweet nothings in Ghost Rider's ear and Ghost Rider's ear. Yeah. And basically Robbie Reyes is like shoved way down deep, and he's having this conversation with somebody off screen, and you find out at the end who it is. It's pretty if you're a Ghost Rider.
Good. I like that kind of a reveal. Slow burn.
Yeah. It's all about him trying to regain control of himself while the physical being of the Ghost Rider is fighting all of the Avengers, and basically to a standstill also.
Good God.
Well, I mean, he has help with, hordes of vampires involved. Good. Meanwhile, in Russia, down in one of their prisons, Dracula, they're trying to like break him out. And, there's like some, we'll call it political intrigue, if you will. It's not that much, but with Dracula, Lord of the Vampires, and this guy who's trying to usurp him. Anyway, the story continues, but it was quite good. I like it.
I really like the stories where you've got somebody that is expected to be the bad guy, but they turn into the good guy because somebody worse comes along. You know what I mean? Right. It's like the lesser of two evils at work, and you're like, oh my God, we got to support Dracula. I think that's a lot of fun.
Sure. And another thing, personally, I've never really been the biggest fan of the Ghost Rider. The only time I really have before was when Jason Aaron wrote the series.
Yeah. Wait a minute. You didn't like Ghost Rider 2099?
Great art, but I could not care about the story.
I agree. It was nice looking. I never read it.
Yeah. I mean, so like in this book, Ghost Rider is great. I love the characterization. I'm not a big Tony Stark fan. Jason Aaron does a really good job with him. I don't really like Captain Marvel / Carol Danvers, but Jason Aaron writes these characters, and I really enjoy their repartee with each other. They have different voices. There is comedic jibes like a person would have with another person, but yeah, overall, this is a really excellent book. David Marquez is doing
that. Is that dialogue that you're referring to is that Jason Aaron, or is it previously owned by the characters and Jason Aaron's just doing a good job with it?
I think Jason Aaron's mostly doing a good job with it. He is writing a dumb She-Hulk character, which is a little new. Okay. Usually that was, a Banner incarnation. Usually Jennifer Walters is somewhat smart in her She-Hulk form. Yeah, I'm enjoying this one a lot. The artwork's nice. When the regular artist Ed McGuinness is on, it looks really good then too. But everybody that fills in has been doing a really good job. Yeah, this one was excellent.
Good.
Blade. If you're a fan of Blade, that's the way to go.
I am. I'm a huge fan of vampires kicking vampires' booty.
Yeah, I think he's a half vampire, just to let you know.
Whatever.
So Justice League, I read that last week also.
What is that?
These are like monster cars, and this is the Daily Planet here.
Monster cars?
Yeah, like doesn't it look like an automobile or something up on the top?
It looks like a plant to me, like something out of.
Well, anyway, this is called When Metropolis Attacks, and that's the Daily Planet.
Okay.
This is in reference to, I'm going to call it the villain of the story, which is, and I'm going to say this wrong, Mr. Mxyzptlk.
Oh, you are fired, sir.
I would, anybody that wants to correct me as well is welcome to. Anyway, Mxyzptlk. Anyway, there you go. Scott Snyder's back on Justice League after a 1-issue hiatus.
Was that so he could gain sanity or just take a break?
It was a villain issue, so his buddy is doing it.
Oh, right. Villains. Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyway, this was a really good one. I liked it a lot also. It has fill-in art by Jorge Jimenez, and it opens with the Daily Planet. Look at Clark Kent typing. Perry White wants him to finish his story, and he does a sneeze, which blows papers. In that time, he's able to type out a story that he finishes.
His keyboard must be like majorly over-engineered.
Yeah, I know. Really, I need some shock suspension on those keys.
Yeah, what does he have? Cherry MX switches?
Well, I mean, if he has super speed and super strength, maybe he has like super finesse also.
Bull hockey. Bullshit. No way.
Would be like, she wouldn't be standing. Okay. He's got to be able to be cool.
Be cool, man.
Yeah, be cool. Anyway, the Justice League meets up. Wonder Woman does some magic. That's kind of cool.
Did you say Wonder Woman does magic?
Yeah, she's been casting magic. There's a bunch of Justice League books. So there's Justice League, there's Justice League Dark, there's Justice League Odyssey. Sometimes they cross over with other books, but in Justice League Dark, which is the magicians of the DC universe or magical creatures like the Demon, Dr. Fate. Well, anyway, Wonder Woman's in there, and I guess she's been learning some spells. Okay. Anyway, they summon Mr. Mxyzptlk, and this is awesome. Look at those eyes down there. Can you see that?
Oh, that's the globe from the Daily Planet that's become alive.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
Yes.
That's a great panel. I love this page, actually. Look at Superman looking up.
Yeah, no, that is very nice.
The devastation of the city up there is just, yeah, it's really sweet. They think contain him, imprison him so that they can get information from him, but he just starts messing them up big time. And I love this, how he has to reach around the panel to shoot and cover up the ring that John Stewart, so he can't use it. Anyway, there's another dimension. There's a 6th dimension that the Justice League find out about, and they figure only Mr. Mxyzptlk can get them in, and he can only get Superman in. There's reasons for it, and there's a cliffhanger at the end. Basically, not everything is, I'm going to just let you know. So Superman comes back after having been in the 6th dimension just for a few moments. And when he comes back, he's different. He says everything's wonderful. And he says, hey, Justice League, I've got it made so that you can come on in now. And he ushers them in. Meanwhile, in the depths of like some, very dark, dank dungeon, maybe under the earth, like far under the earth, maybe just like, I don't even know, like he's losing his power. Superman is down there and all his radiation that he's absorbed from the sun is being depleted, and he's like in despair, and that's how the issue ends.
Nice.
So this is the first part of like, I think a 6-part story.
Okay.
I really, really like the art. Ending was really cool. So yeah, I definitely recommend this. Let me see if I can show you Superman at the end. Oh yeah, there he is.
A little bit of glare.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah, anyway. I like this one a lot. That was a good issue. Justice League and Avengers. I talked about them along with Gideon Falls and how they were all neck to neck.
Yeah.
I think Avengers has pulled away a little bit. Gideon Falls has been doing well. Justice League has fallen, but this is the time to pick it back up. I really enjoyed it, and it comes out every 2 weeks. So this story is really good. I like it.
Nice. Very nice.
And this Amazing Spider-Man was part of the Hunted storyline that starts this week. This is a preview or just kind of like what some of the other characters that aren't Spider-Man do, what are they doing at this time. I really didn't care for it. It had a lot of interior dialogue, and you know how I don't like that.
Who wrote it?
It was written by Nick Spencer, who is also the Spider-Man writer. He does that thing in the Spider-Man book. I have been forgiving him. I've been forgiving him for it, but I really don't enjoy interior monologue unless it's like, if it's something, look, I all the time. If it's out loud, I'm crazy. If it's inside my head, I'm still talking the same way I would have if it was out loud. I don't talk like I think I'm, like I have somebody in mind. I'm just saying what I say. So like word balloons in the old days had that feel to them. Like, oh, I really should go do this. Not, hey, my name is Yule and I really like doing laundry. That's BS. I think it's a crutch. I really don't enjoy when writers do it. This is all the way throughout. The artwork's okay. But if you like the Black Cat, you should get this book. There you go. My reviews of comics I read.
So the one on the screen right now is coming out next week or tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay. All right. So you read quite a bit of stuff then.
Yeah, there were. So I also read some Doomsday Clock issues. Number 9 came out last week. Say what?
Did you get caught up?
Not yet.
Whoa.
I read issue 6. It was great. I read issue 7. That was really good also. And I'm halfway done with number 8.
Wow.
So
and 9 is out. You're almost caught up.
I'm almost caught up. It was totally worth not having read it yet to get caught up as far as I have. Number 6 was quite the turning point. I had heard that it was, and it did not disappoint. Okay. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
There's basically this super villain meetup, and the Joker is wheeling in the Batman who's like drugged and in a wheelchair and bound, and he can't escape. And the marionette and the mime, the couple from, they're there. And yeah, it's crazy. Mr. Freeze is there. There's a whole bunch of goons. Yeah, it's excellent. Really good stuff.
Very good.
Yeah, Doomsday Clock. Jeff Johns. And, as long as it looks that good, I don't care how long it takes to come out.
I agree completely. Quality over quantity any day.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, that's kind of how it feels with so many of the bi-weekly comics. Even when they're good, I've said this many weeks in a row, it always feels like there's a couple issues that are filler.
Well, I mean, I think by the nature of the speed that they're publishing, they have to be filler.
Yeah. I mean, it would be different if you had a team of writers working on it so that each 6-issue arc felt like, an entire story and not something that needed to come out at a certain time.
Yeah.
But, and then you would have, like 5 or 6 different, teams working on it. But that'd be ridiculous, right?
So maybe instead of these independent folks or people going independent to produce stories that they want to write, maybe somebody should get together with a bunch of other somebodies that want to write really quality stuff and start publishing in that way. You know what I mean? Like create a bullpen out of like-minded individuals and start producing one book that's extraordinary. Everybody wants their own thing, right? Nobody wants to work together. Everybody wants to, they want their brainchild to be famous and popular, and everybody wants to be the, the creator that, I don't know. It's a lot of ego and bullshit, in my opinion.
Without a doubt. I mean, anytime, I mean, it happens all the time. If it's not artists attacking each other, it's artists attacking writers, writers attacking artists, everybody attacking the editor. It's hard to put out things, and when you have to share responsibility with things, it's even harder.
Well, I think people attack each other a little too easily in this day and age without really considering.
Without a doubt. I mean, the comic store has always been a bastion for shitting on something.
Yeah.
You don't realize you're the troll when you're crapping on something that you really like that somebody else doesn't, or vice versa, I should say. But then it happens with that other person's, all right, I can say I really can't stand the artwork in this one comic book. And then someone would be like, well, I really can't stand... I can't stand, a certain artist, and you're like, I really like that artist, and it's the most offensive thing. I'm joking. The most offensive thing I ever heard in a comic store was when I was standing behind a woman. This was at I'm Comics in San Dimas. For anybody that knows of that, this is way back in the day. Grant Morrison had just started the Doom Patrol series that he was doing. And I got my normal superhero comics, and I also got the Grant Morrison Doom Patrol. And I'm really excited about it. And the woman in front of me has a fat stack of comics just like I do. And the cashier asks her, well, why aren't you getting Doom Patrol? And she's like, I can't stand it. It sucks. And then she's like, and the art's the worst I've ever seen. I have Doom Patrol in my hand up on the top of my stack. Hilarious. She's wrong, by the way. It was great.
Yeah, but did you take it personally? Did you really think that this woman was attacking you?
No.
There's the problem, is people taking stuff personally that they shouldn't.
Well, the thing is the only way to respond these days is on some sort of social media thing. So if you post something like, oh, all right, I did one on Instagram the other day. Someone in a Marvel mutant kind of Instagram channel said something about Captain Marvel being an honorary X-Man. And I'm like, oh my God, that's BS. Captain Marvel. And then so I typed this. I'm like, Carol Danvers has always been an insufferable bore. And she always sponges her character off somebody else. Like, she had a drinking problem like her buddy Tony Stark. She had to have old adventures that never were told with Wolverine because she was hanging around the X-Men. So I said something like that, and it wasn't taken negatively, so that's good. I think they understood. I was kind of just joking a little bit. But when you're directly, the only way to have a conversation like that is in that situation in Instagram is to say it directly that way. It's not just me saying it in the store out loud like I'm some, braggadocious jerk.
What wasn't?
Well, in the comic book store, you're a pontiff.
Yeah, she sucked.
She wasn't an honorary member. She was a member.
Is that Kyle?
You can't be an X-Man if you're not a mutant.
Kyle, get on the screen or closer to the microphone.
What X-Men are all about. No, the camera's here.
Oh,
don't worry about the camera. We can't hear you. Hey, Kyle, how's it going?
I'd be going much better if I weren't next to Art Germ.
He hates that cover. But he likes this one a lot more.
Wait, is that Catwoman?
Yeah, same artist though.
Kyle, what cover do you like, Kyle?
One's not done by this particular artist are my preference.
Kyle, tell me, what's your favorite comic book going right now?
Oh, I guess I regularly go back to the various Black Hammer series and enjoy those.
Nice.
But I'm a pretty big fan of the current Avengers run you guys were just talking about. That's been a lot of fun. I think it's neat to see them mixing some of the paranormal Marvel characters, your Dracula and so forth, along with the Thor mythos and Wakanda and all that stuff. So it's got a little bit of something for everyone except the mutant fans.
Okay.
Those two have been ones that I've really enjoyed a lot. And on the DC side, I've been enjoying Justice League Dark. It's been surprisingly entertaining. So
okay,
a lot of fun.
Nice.
But I think I've had enough variant covers, though. I think
everybody has had enough variant covers, to be honest.
Yeah. Unless it's Art Germ.
Unless people collect them.
I'm shaking my head in disappointment. But
yeah,
I'm going to put these at your feet.
Thanks, Kyle. I appreciate it. You should be on the show sometime. And I mean more than just stopping through.
Yeah, I'll drop by. I've got next time I'll have to bring a little handle of vodka or something and get rolling.
Yeah, you're always invited. You know that.
Thanks, guys.
There you go.
All right. So let's see. We've talked about what you read last week, and we've gone off on a few tirades that we're inclined to do, and frankly we're entitled to it because we're opinionated SOBs. Yeah. But why don't you start in with this thing that's on the screen right now? Who did the art for the cover? It looks a little bit like Alex Ross turned into a cartoon drawer.
So the person's name is Philip Lau, something like that. Stanley, maybe it's Stanley Lau. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, he is known as Art Germ.
Is that like pinup style?
Yeah, I'll say that. Maybe cheesecake, something like that. Maybe
Frank Chow, kind of.
Pardon me?
Frank Chow?
Frank Cho, maybe. He's a little bit more comical in style. I mean, like comic booky in style. This guy, I don't know, he has a sort of like painted realism to it. I'm sure it's all computer, but I just am showing off some variant covers because I don't know. He's pretty popular. Supergirl's been doing pretty well, actually. Mark Andreyko's been writing it. I think he's a pal of Brian Michael Bendis, who's doing the Superman books. She's been going off in space to try and find herself. And there's a Brainiac involved. And anybody that likes Supergirl knows about Brainiac. And that's kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Catwoman is written by Joelle Jones, who was doing the art for a while, probably is not right now. This is another variant cover.
Joelle Jones. Why do I remember that name?
Because
she draws really nice, doesn't she?
She does. She is she's a good artist.
Show me some interior pics, please.
Pardon me?
Show me the interior.
Well, she's not doing it.
Oh. Boo.
There's a good artist involved, I'm sure. Oh, I like that front page. Anyway, yeah, it's nice how it's cool. Let's see this. Pages stick. Oh yeah, it's nice looking.
It looks all right to me. It doesn't look great.
It looks like a story I want to read, though. Like the thing is like, are the panels there trying to tell me to read a story, and I'm really enjoying what I'm looking at here. I'm going to read this one.
Okay.
There you go. And get the art room cover too.
So is she walking on the wall? How is she suspended? She looks like she's got anti-gravity on her butt.
Pure artistic hubris is what is suspending her.
No, maybe it's not. Maybe she's
she's coming down a rope or something, right?
That's what it is. As sexy as possible. What you can't tell probably is that there's like leather and then, excuse me, this is sheer, and then it's leather again.
Wait, what part is sheer?
I'm not doing it again.
Yeah, don't worry about it, man. I'll find it at the comic book store if I need to, but as of right now, I don't really care.
I think it's really well done. But whatever. I like that inside. Whoever Tim's is doing the art, or I don't know. Whoever it is was really good. I actually read this issue.
Already, huh?
Yeah, so the reason why I read it was because the last 2 issues crossed over with the last 2 issues of Batman, which I did not read. And I wanted to see if this was something that anybody else like me who didn't read the books could get into this again because they like the Flash. Yeah. And I will let you know they can. This is mostly a story about the trickster, not the one who is the trickster now, but the one who's been in Iron Heights for many, 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 many years. Basically since before the introduction of the new one.
Okay.
Good art, liked it a lot. Good story, a lot of that interior monologue, unfortunately, but it wasn't so bad. Yeah, easy to get into. It looked really good. I'm going to open up to an ad, of course. Superman. There's a lot of flashback sequences.
That looks nice.
Yeah, basically they're telling the story of him, a kid who's afraid of heights, and his parents are like carnies that do acrobat stuff, and they want to get him in the act after the Flying Graysons have their problem.
Yeah.
Flying Graysons are Dick Grayson's parents. They died. And so, yeah, it's a pretty good story. If you like the Trickster, if you like Flash's Rogues Gallery, most people that like the Flash do like the Rogues Gallery. This is definitely a book for you.
Nice. Very nice.
All right.
Quick question, though. You said that the original, or at least the past Trickster, has been in Iron Heights for a long, long time?
Yes, sir.
Iron Heights is a prison?
Yes.
Yeah. So is this taking place in the past?
It's a little bit of both.
So is it in his memory?
Yeah.
Okay. So doesn't the interior dialogue make sense when he's like...
Yeah, but who's he talking to?
Himself? Like a crazy person?
Yeah, he's talking to us. He's not...
Is he a loon, is what I'm getting at. Is he a crazy person?
No, he's not a crazy person.
Okay.
It's not Asylum. Jeez.
Well, I mean...
Although he has been broken.
Prison, bro.
The thing about Iron Heights is that the guy who runs it is the biggest jerk there is. I mean, you know, when people are like, oh, shouldn't be any prisons, that's exactly the reason that guy. But of course, he thinks he's in the right. You know, these are
yeah.
Pieces of crap. They need to be dealt with.
Funny. All right. Tell me about the Grim Knight.
I'm not going to tell you much about it.
Okay. Why is that?
There is a miniseries called The Batman Who Laughs. It is going on. There's been 3 issues so far. It's written by Scott Snyder with art by Jock. This is written by Scott Snyder with his buddy Tinian, who does the villain issues of the Justice League.
Yes.
And it's going to have art by Rizzo. Eduardo Rizzo. Wow, I didn't know that. He's good.
9 panels.
There's a
9 panels.
No, that's fun. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 panels. But look how wonderful those are on the right. Yeah, Rizzo's excellent. This is not exactly like I expect to see from him. He draws he spots black so well. This is actually it feels lighter than normal for him. Let's not get an advertisement. Let's get one more page. I mean, obviously he's dealing with the Batman, but this is nice. Yeah. So this is a one-shot story. It ties in with the Batman Who Laughs. I personally don't care, but God, nice artwork.
Question for you real quick.
Yeah.
If they do a one-shot, why do they bother putting a number on it?
Everybody loves a number 1.
All right. The Goon. Goon's been around for a really long time.
It has. Albatross Press is Eric Powell's company.
Okay.
And I do believe this is the return of the Goon.
Ooh, that is a glossy cover.
Yeah, Albatross Press. You can see it right there on there.
So, Yule, what is an albatross to you?
Ooh, an albatross. Is that a bird?
It is a big bird. Yeah, it's like a giant seagull.
It's also not It's a weight.
Yeah, the saying is an albatross about one's neck, and I don't know where it comes from. I don't know if it's Shakespeare or Poe or what, but it's like a burden. It's a burden.
It's a burden, all right.
Which I don't understand, because from what I gather, they're able to soar quite readily. Like, they sleep on the wing.
Wow.
So I don't know why it would be a burden to be an albatross about one's neck. Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, I'm guessing. Yeah. Ah, thank you, Mike.
Oh, man. Anyway, the Goon is coming back out from Albatross Press. Eric Powell is doing it. He writes, he draws, he created it. He's a fantastic illustrator. He has a very nice, charming feel to his characters. And I've only read a couple issues of The Goon. I wanted to let people that like The Goon know that it's coming out. He basically fights monsters, and he's kind of like a palooka cab driver or something like that. But it's funny. It is, it's not ha funny, but it's whimsical. Again, it's very beautiful art. If you're into Eric Powell's stuff, this is definitely something you should be getting.
Very nice. Yeah. It looks a little bit like Hellboy.
Yeah. Maybe Mignola works with a lot more. He works in more black.
Yeah, he's got a very high contrast style.
But that doesn't stop Eric Powell from doing that kind of thing either.
It looks
again,
nice.
That's where my limitations as of knowing art. If I could just tell you every exact thing and how they're different, I would. But he maybe has a lot more detail to his work.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So the Ms. Marvel is next. This is the Magnificent Ms. Marvel. This is a #1 issue. Everybody loves a #1.
Yeah, we
Marvel
do.
So much that they put it here and here.
Oh my geez.
There would have been a time when they would have said, by Eisner Award-winning writer for Black Bolt, Saladin Ahmed. But they didn't. They just put his name down here with everybody else.
Real small.
Real small. A brand new era starts here. And it is going to be a brand new. I almost read this one first. I wanted to see if it was going to have a little bit more punching than the previous series that have come out. This is the first time somebody other than G. Willow Wilson has written the character. And I'm expecting one more fight than all of the previous issues that she wrote.
So one fight would do that?
Yeah, one fight would do it, yeah.
Yeah, that's horrible. But
I'm hoping that maybe there will be a little bit more action, something to care about this character more than her feelings, because I'm done with those. Get into a situation where you stop a crime, make that crime lead into something else that's part of a bigger plot, and get to solving it, because I'm sick of your friends.
Yes.
So the last chance for this book for me. I've given her 7 to 12 issues in the past, and they've bored me to tears. And I'm sorry for anybody that is not bored from a book like this, but it's a superhero book, and I want to see some freaking superheroing. There's no reason for this to exist in this capacity unless she's doing some superheroing.
Well, how are the sales?
Her fat friend, I'll tell you what the sales are. It sells well.
Okay. Well, if it sells well, you're in the wrong, buddy.
I want to start liking it too. And you know what? Those people have been serviced, and sales have waned a bit. So it's time for me to get serviced on this one. I want to read and see if I'm going to like Kamala Khan. It's time for her to get into some real situations that will make a comic book reader, a superhero comic book reader, care about her. So there you go.
So question is, are we dealing with somebody who's going at this with a slow burn approach, where they're building character so that you care about the character and then you're getting into the action?
Well, she's had over 50 issues. Okay.
50? As in 50? 50?
50. She had 2 series. The only time oh my God. She was part of Civil War II, which was Carol Danvers versus. All right, you want to see how bad Carol Danvers is?
Yes.
She had an Inhuman that had the ability to prognosticate things that were going to happen. And you know what she did? She imprisoned people before they did the things.
Oh, so it's a Minority Report problem.
So Kamala Khan, who is Carol Danvers' biggest fan, this person who has experienced prejudices for being Muslim and a girl on the East Coast after 9/11. She imprisons her friends that are told that she's told that they're going to do something bad in the future. She gets together with these horrible other superheroes, quote unquote, and they kick down people's doors and take them out of their homes to imprison them before they do said act.
Really?
Like, this isn't, I looked on the internet to make a bomb stuff. This person thought in their head that they might look on the internet to make some bombs, you know? It's like, oh, this person's traveling around town with a dark cloud over their head. Maybe we should put them in prison for like 48 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So, yeah. Time to fight some supervillains.
Okay.
Ooh, Little Bird.
What is that?
I don't know. It's by somebody who I've never heard of. I'm going to try this.
If you don't tell us the name, we won't have ever heard of it either.
Aditya Bidikar.
Can you, is there any chance you can bring it up so that we can see it?
Yeah.
A little higher?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, right there. Thank you.
Aditya
Bidikar.
With Ben Didier.
Ben Didier.
Oh, I'm sorry. Those are freaking letterers. Who gives? It's Darcy Van. Wow, this is still a tough word. Polgies.
Yeah, that's the mouthful.
And Ian Bertram, who I can't remember what he's done in the past. Oops, sorry. What he's done in the past, but the artwork in here is pretty neat looking.
Whoa.
And there's some sort of Canadian thing going on in here.
God damn it.
You don't like the Canadians?
I'm kidding. I don't know what it means to be Canadian.
And yeah, it looks like some sort of post-apocalyptic, maybe kind of like world.
Those backgrounds remind me of Mobius.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's maybe not as detailed as Mobius, but
yeah, but come on, that dude's a master.
Was.
All right, was. Whatever. His legacy continues. The dude's a master.
Anyway, Little Bird. I can't tell you anything about it, but
it looks real pretty. I would pick that up on the shelf for sure if I was in a comic book store.
Yeah, this looks really good. I'm excited. A lot of people are talking about it already, so I'm hoping this is a one of those books that, you know, picks up the people that are finding their books are near ending or maybe are on hiatus.
So who is this book for, do you think? Who do you think?
Probably Monstrous fans, maybe people who like fantasy, Image fans, without a doubt.
Sure. People who can't read Saga right now?
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm hoping it's good. I mean, it looks great. I
mean, I have a really good idea. You want to hear it?
Yeah, I would love to hear it.
Why don't we right now take a giant dump on this book so that we can be the first people to really hate it?
This Little Bird, more like big worm. I don't know.
I'm kidding. I am genuinely joking.
Look at that. Look at this page. So, all right, so it's got some, what is that, like a staple gun or something going on there? I don't know.
Oh,
look at that.
I need to go to the store to look at that.
That was so violent. I can't wait to read this. Okay, so yeah, Little Bird guys, this is definitely one to get.
Nice.
And this is the last book.
Okay. That's Craven.
Amazing Spider-Man.
Craven, and he's got, whoa, does he have Rhino's head on the wall?
Yeah. So remember how I told you last issue was a character piece story about Craven and how he's been gathering rich game hunters and people to really kill.
Yeah.
And he got them Spider-Man's villains who all happen to be like, animal characters, Rhino, Lizard, this bunny rabbit character, on and on.
Doc Ock.
Yeah, Doc Ock. He's got them on an island to be hunted by these people, but Spider-Man's supposed to get involved. Anyway, this one's going to have art by Humberto Ramos.
Okay.
Humberto Ramos is one of my favorite artists for probably like the last 20 years. God, now it's probably like the last 25 years now that I think about it. I was at a San Diego one year in his hotel room with all of his buddies and my buddy, and we were just chatting, looking at their artwork, drinking beers. They had a bathtub full of ice and beer. It's like crazy, just chain smoking up to all hours of the night. It was awesome. Yeah. I've always liked Humberto Ramos before that and after. Nice. He's a cool dude. And I really like his artwork. And he does, usually when he's doing Spider-Man is when he's doing his best work, because I think he really likes the character.
Is that because he likes Spider-Man?
Yeah, that's what I think. Anyway, he has some people don't like his style. I do like his style. He kind of draws like I call it bloopy fingers, big feet. But yeah, definitely one of my favorite artists that works in the industry right now. Still.
Nice.
Yeah. So there you go. That's it.
So that's everything that you think is worth really mentioning about this coming week, tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, there's, I could go on about the fact that like Transformers is starting over, so the 5 people that care about that can find out about it.
What's the Transformers?
The Transformers is these robots that transform into automobiles and things. I don't know why.
That sounds so great.
I know.
Yeah.
But so there are these airplane robots and there's these automobile robots, and they fight against each other.
What?
And this series is going to be about the time before they started fighting against each other.
Were they fighting over fuel?
I couldn't tell you.
I'm guessing.
Probably.
Right? I mean, what else could they possibly fight over?
Yeah, don't they have like energons or something?
Dude, I don't know. The Transformers always made me crazy angry as a kid. I hated them. I liked the actual figures, I liked Transformers, but I hated the stories that they tried to put with them.
Right.
That's not fair, Corey. It's just a ride. It has nothing to do with the story. Their story is ridiculous. They just fight, and it's G.I. Joe, same thing. There's no repercussions whatsoever to what they're doing. It's like, why are you dragging this on? Just get it over with. Kill each other.
Transformers did die in the movie, and
Corey's right, though. It was a great ride. That's a pretty glossy cover, too.
Yeah, it is. They are glossy. I agree.
They were commercials for toys, and I know I got them for birthdays and stuff like that, but the story makes me absolutely crazy. They did
the G.I. Joe cartoon during that time was basically written by Larry Hama, who did the comic books later on.
Well, those were also just an ad for the toys, which also made me completely crazy.
They're like, hey, make up origins for these characters. And, they did.
I didn't see the movie. I never did see the movie. And I wouldn't, because I hated the show so much.
Are we talking animated or the Michael Bay?
Ooh, I don't know. 1986?
Animated then.
Then yeah, okay, that's the one I was thinking it was.
I saw it. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I don't think I like that cover either. To be honest, I think she looks more anatomically correct than a lot of the covers that I see. Put that Spider-Man back on the screen real quick. No, the one on your left. Look at her left leg.
Yeah.
Do you see how that's not really attached to her body?
Okay.
So I don't know. Like I'm not into the style of that Supergirl cover.
The Supergirl one.
Yeah, I'm not into the style of it, but it's more accurate looking by a long shot than that.
Well, it's funny because this guy is notorious for tracing photographs, usually a porno chick.
He's a tracer. There's your Kevin Smith reference that I can get behind.
Yeah. He's a tracer.
He didn't trace that leg from any human.
I don't know what to tell you, man. Again, you
don't have to defend him or whatever. I just think that that's a poorly drawn leg. That's fun though. I like that one a lot. It is. Somebody mentioned earlier that it was like the plant from Little Shop of Horrors, and it totally is.
Sure, Venus flytrap also.
Yes, it really is. Or Plants versus Zombies, or whatever you want to, whatever reference is, current from your perspective. Because Little Shop of Horrors is probably before a lot of Audrey. It's probably before a lot of people's time.
Do you remember Beetlejuice?
Vaguely. I was young when that came out.
The mother makes really odd sculptures, and they come to life when Beetlejuice, animates them.
Right.
These remind me of one of them, or at least the Daily Planet does.
Right. Sure. That looks like fun though. Like, and then the thing with Superman at the end, that was real nice looking.
Oh man, this was a very good issue. It was probably better than the Avengers if I was going to rank the two.
I'm surprised to hear you say that Justice League is pulling away from what is it? Which one? Oh God.
Well, Avengers is pulling away from Gideon Falls.
Gideon Falls, thank you. What is this?
Reboots are the right of all sentient beings. Reboots are the right of all sentient beings.
Well, very nicely drawn. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Optimus Prime. Very cool. All right, Yule. So we've gone through, but real quick, if you anything off the top of your head, any events, anything like that, any special toys that came out or coming out?
Well, let me tell you. March 23rd is not only my birthday, but it is also Hellboy Day.
Is that the day the movie comes out?
I don't know. It's the day they chose to let us put out all these freebies that are Hellboy related. So I got a bunch of like comic books which represent the first issue. I got free ones. I'll be stickering them. You know this from the beginning of the show. There's like little pictures and stuff, and we're gonna have a bunch of Hellboy stuff made available for cheap, and it should be a fun day. I'm gonna try and get some cupcakes made.
April 12th. Okay.
No, March 23rd.
Yeah, no. Fantinium said Hellboy movie comes out April 12th.
Oh, I see. Very good. Yeah, so but we sell Hellboy really well in the store, and I've made sure to get all that all that stuff back in. So it should be a fun Hellboy day. I've commissioned a piece of artwork that I'm going to be making into a poster. It's Hellboy that I'll be giving away with purchases. But I got to cross my fingers still on that one.
Nice.
I
recommend that you keep one or two of the freebies away unstamped on stickers.
Well, no, yeah, we don't want
just one or two,
for some store in the far future to be able to sell it.
Dude, that is your job. Like collectors, that is what they're doing. They're moving things from the present into the future, and they're trying to maintain their condition. That is your job as a collector.
Yeah, I mean, some people, the job of the collector is just to read the material and maybe, pass it on to someone else, regardless of the condition.
That's a reader's job. That's not a collector's job.
Well, yeah, you're right. I personally believe that we should get into this in another episode, but I definitely feel that it is my job to kind of like shepherd the comics that I care about into the future so that, someone else can care about them the same way. Yes. It doesn't mean I don't read them, but it also means I don't just like throw them just
collect them. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally get you. But I mean, that's, to me, anybody that collects something that they don't love is doing it a little bit wrong.
Well, I mean, maybe I love and have collected all of my Star Wars figures, but those arms still, all I have to do is flick them and they spin like crazy now because
that's right.
Kenner pieces of crap.
The way I view it is that we're stewards of the stuff that we love if we're collecting it, and the job of a steward is stewardship.
So that's why you're taking all those old crappy paperbacks and making sure they don't get crappier until they get to some other place.
Dude, I've got some of the stuff I've got. I mean, it's not super old, but 40, 50 years old, and they look like they were printed yesterday.
Yeah.
So if my collection gets water damaged or something like that, I don't know. I don't know how many exist in that condition, but I'm assuming it's a pretty low number.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's pulpy paperbacks.
Yeah. They're designed to be destroyed. Comic books are no better, though. I mean, those were literally designed originally to be thrown in your back pocket and then tossed when you were done. They were the ultimate and disposable reading material.
Yeah, and baseball cards were put in bike spokes so that they made sounds when they rode their bikes.
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
Fantinuum, I have insurance, buddy. I have insurance.
I
also have a very detailed... In order to have insurance for your collection, though, it is very important that you have an actual inventory of your insured materials. Otherwise, they don't really believe you. You can say that you had Superman #1, and they won't believe you. You can insure your collection for $100,000 and say that your Superman #1 just got destroyed, and they will say, prove it.
And your Instagram posts will not be proof.
My Instagram posts are very good evidence that I actually had those books in my collection.
Provenance again.
Well... So
my Instagram is my provenance.
Instagram is great. Let's just be really honest here. So are you doing any Instagram stuff for stuff that you're selling, or are you just doing Instagram for interesting photos?
Anybody that wants to follow Fantastic Comics on Instagram, I am putting when I'm pricing up comics for our bins, when I'm pricing up comics to go out on eBay, we usually take pictures and post them.
Yes, you do.
I definitely did for all of the items that are up now. I am, it's still a work in progress, myself doing it. I also have to get my brother to do it, and he has been. But, those hashtags and everything actually take a lot more time than you'd think. So
they do, but they don't. Like once you can create a copy, and you can copy and paste them from old posts.
Without a doubt.
So if you're struggling in that realm, there's ways to fix that problem.
It's just, sometimes you want to put the right thing up and you're searching for the right one.
Yeah, no, I get it. I do it all the time. I understand.
But yeah, I really enjoy Instagram. I actually like it a whole lot more than Twitter.
Twitter is a cesspit.
Yeah, I think everybody for the most part agrees. There's a practical,
and yet everybody still uses it. It's amazing to me.
Yeah, I mean, again, I wanted to find that fun stuff out about Dan Panosian and the Female Furies cover if I wasn't on Twitter. So
That's fair.
Yeah, played into the thing that we did last week. So it's almost like we were prognosticating something that was going to happen. Probably the reason why I put those art germ covers up this week, because, next week he'll probably be the thing that they're outraged about.
There it is right there, though. That's the key word, outrage. Professional outrage.
Outrage.
Yeah, just people looking everywhere they possibly can for a reason to be outraged because they're addicted to that emotion.
Oh yeah, it's great. Anyway, yeah. So Twitter's good for that.
That's interesting. Hold on a minute. Home slice. Is that
when I played it?
No.
Is that Princess Leia without hair?
It's your favorite, Ellen Page.
Oh, that's Ellen
Page? Jeez. Yeah, no, I don't like that woman.
Why I said, oh, wait, maybe I should have said Shannon Doherty. I meant
Shannon Doherty. I like Shannon Doherty because her eyes are not symmetrical.
Dude, I want to say something else, but I have to wait till we're off and anybody can ask me about it tomorrow after hours.
Continuum. I love you, man. I love you.
What did he say?
He said the drawing looks better than her in real life.
Horrible saying that.
She is not an ugly woman. She is not a horrible actress, but she's not good at her job, in my opinion. And I think she did a very poor job with the Umbrella Academy, at least in the beginning. The last couple episodes didn't really require much acting on her part. So anyway, I'm done talking about Ellen Page. I don't care for her.
All right, very good.
Let's see. Okay, so we do need to wind the show down.
Yeah, we're winding down, everybody.
I think that when we do this naturally, we run an hour and a half, and that should just be the way that it goes. I don't feel any real reason to cut the show to an hour.
Yeah.
I think we should let it happen organically. If we're having a good time, we should just keep going. And if we're not, we should wind it down.
Well, it's up to Fantinuum, obviously. And maybe Corey. Anyhow, I agree with you.
I mean, I have a good time when we do this. So, I don't mind it to run an hour and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, me either. I mean, I just got Jill to go home too, so
you please. Just got why isn't she in chat? You know what I mean?
I know. She does not support me.
Yeah, what a bee.
I know.
I say stuff like that because I wish she was in chat, because then I know she would respond and it would be fun and hilarious, but she's not in chat. So me saying that Jill is a bee is not a serious statement at all. I enjoy Jill very much. We have a really good repartee, and she was sending me texts. We were texting last week. It was, oh my God, she's so funny.
Okay,
doesn't matter. Let's close the show down. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks everybody for tuning in. You can reach us on Instagram at Fantastic Comics, or you could follow me, Yule, personally on Instagram at Filthy Burger.
Which is a horrible name, but okay.
Love that name. You can also follow us on Twitter, Fantastic Comics. Just search it there.
Put it in the description.
Yeah, all right, I'll do that. I'll do that.
And then copy and paste it into every single description, and just that way you can just say it's in the description. Don't be lazy.
Yeah, don't be lazy.
Look it up.
So, yeah, and then you can follow Yule. What am I? Am I just Yule Carter? Oh, I'm at Big Blue Yule.
Yeah, you are.
BIGBLUEUEL. That's my Twitter handle, and nice. You can see me getting in all sorts of trouble over there. I am so ignored. I mean, I tweet to Rob Liefeld all this stuff, and he never ever responds. I'm so hurt.
Yeah, Rob Liefeld's ignoring you again.
I mean, I'm not joking about tweeting to him. I'm
I know you are. I mean, I read your tweets. I've seen you respond to Rob Liefeld, and I've seen him ignore you.
I said yesterday that we should tax Rob Liefeld.
What, a hand tax or a foot tax?
No, he was talking about AOC wanting to. Oh, he said like she hates the rich or something like that, or it seems that she does. And
AOC is Cortez.
Yeah, he wasn't saying it negatively, really. He was just kind of like, oh, this, looking to, being negative against rich people. And then that's when I was like, tax Rob Liefeld. There you go, Rob Liefeld. Jesus.
Wow.
Anyway, that's my tweeting habits.
I actually don't know anything about her political stance. I know she's all tax rich people, but I don't know. All right, so Rob Liefeld. He can't draw feet. That's the joke.
That is the joke.
Eugene, thanks for the drawings of Ellen Page and Fantastic Comics Twitter and Rob Liefeld. Thanks, Kyle, for stopping in and saying hi and giving us a little bit of a preview of what's to come when he joins us on the show. Thank you, Yule, for setting the show up. But it is time to go. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night. Let's spell that correctly. Bye-bye. All right, I'm turning it off.